Alice Walker is a literary force to be reckoned with. She won the Pulitzer Prize and the American Book Award for her novel, The Color Purple. She won wide acclaim for her other novels, essays, and poetry. Her latest novel, Possessing the Secret of Joy, dealt with the difficult subject of female genital mutilation as a rite of passage. But Walker couldn't turn away from the millions of young girls who are still today forced to undergo this procedure in many African and Islamic nations. She has just co-produced a documentary film on the subject, Warrior Marks, Female Genital Mutilation and the Sexual Blinding of Women. And I think it's sexual binding of women. Blinding. It is blinding, yes, yeah. Yes, of women. And she has a companion book on making of the film by the same name, and I am pleased to have her here. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Sexual blinding?
Yes, because if you sexually mutilate a woman by removing her clitoris, it means that her sensations are deadened to such a degree that in a way she cannot really feel her way to the lover of her choice. And so it is as if she is sexually blind.
Yeah. You and I have talked about this before. But tell me what it is about this that so grabbed you. We had a novel, you now have a documentary, you now have this book. Mm-hmm. What is it that's so, of all the things, all those things that reach out for your attention, yes, this grabbed it and wouldn't let go?
I think it's because of the screaming of children, of little children, and the feeling I have that the pain that we inflict on children is the pain that we later endure as a society, wherever we are. And that's certainly what happens here in the United States. And in Africa, there is the feeling and that AIDS is spread through this practice. So among other things, just on the level of health, mm-hmm, we have to try to get the message across in countries where people often don't read and who are against change in this area, that this is something that is really detrimental not only to the health of women and children, but to everyone,
okay,
and to the society.
How much is there? What are we talking about in terms of how pervasive it is?
Well, 100 million women and children today have been genitally mutilated.
100 million?
100 million. It's a lot. I mean, it's, like every third person.
How much in the United States?
Well, we think that there are 10,000 children who are at risk, and about the same number in England, the same number in France, because of the people who come from cultures where it is done. And this is a part of what they do. They consider it a part of their culture.
And the documentary, you want the documentary to do what? Just to go a step further in terms of bringing this to the attention of?
Well, many people in Africa, Asia, and here will not read my book because we, countries outside of the United States have a big problem with illiteracy. Mm-hmm. So, and not so much of a problem with film, because people the world over respond to film. So I wanted to make a film that would address the issue, and I wanted something that was portable so that we could actually translate it into 6 or 7 African languages and take it back and take it around to let people see what we've done.
Mm. And how involved did you get in the making of this?
Totally.
Yeah.
I co-produced it with Channel 4 in England, and I'm all over the film. I interview all kinds of people, including a circumciser.
Someone who does a circumcision?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, this is a clip that we have now in which you are talking to a woman who have been circumcised. Roll tape. Here it is, Alice Walker, Warrior Marks. So what's it like to meet these people who do it?
Well, I got a tremendous headache interviewing this woman because it just felt, it was a terrible feeling. I mean, she is an elder, and she is responsible for so much pain and suffering, and she's in complete denial about it. And also, she is sort of the only woman in the village to have a job, mm-hmm, because everybody else has to, other than wife, everybody else has to be a wife. But something wonderful happened in even this encounter, which was that I looked into her eyes, and at some point I realized that she is, someone who was forced into this position of being the circumciser, and that, she's a human being. And it was very good to feel that way. I mean, it made me actually burst into laughter, where I had before been close to tears.
Yeah. But so therefore you didn't try to talk her out of it, you didn't try to change her, you didn't try
Well, I just told her, that some of the things that she considers secret, like she really doesn't know, I mean, she said she didn't know, that there are women who are not circumcised. And so I informed her that, you know, she was talking to several women there from the West who were not. And it really scared her to be among us because she felt that we represented a, you know, a real evil force. Because, you know, this is her belief. I mean, that she believes that she's actually making these children cleaner. Mm-hmm. She's making them better and more healthy. And
because you hadn't been, you therefore were none of that.
Exactly. And it's so interesting because when people who have been mutilated then suffer the rest of their lives from this, they're never permitted to say that perhaps it was because of this thing that was done to me. In some places, there's not even a word for it. So, I mean, it's such a taboo that you can't even talk about it.
What happens, well, tell me about the experience of talking to children who had been mutilated.
Well, they had been completely programmed to deny that it hurt, that they were scared, and they all vowed that they would, of course, do it to their own children.
And they saw nothing, it was just a matter of course for them.
Well, it was a terrible, terrifying thing. You had only to look at their faces to see that. But what could they do? I mean, they're here. This has happened to them 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. They're surrounded by all of the elder women in the village, and they, you know, they can only say what they can say and still stay in that village.
How far are you going to carry this, Alice? I mean, you're going to make a. I mean, what's the next step? You've got, you've 2 books, a documentary film.
Well,
I mean, you want to make a feature film?
Yes, I think so, Possessing the Secret of Joy, because it, again, will be able to go where film can go and books cannot.
And where fiction can go that documentaries can.
Right.
In terms of even a closer truth or something?
In terms of letting people be free to accept the facts, you know, without panicking and just feeling that, you know, they're being assaulted and disrespected. I really don't want that to be the case.
How many years have you now spent on this?
I've spent 3.5, and I have 1.5 to go. Yeah. I've given myself 5 years to work on this because I don't see, you know, how people who work on it all the time can do it. It really exacts a toll.
Yeah, because when you sat down, I said, Alice, I can only take so much of this.
Yeah, I know,
and
Charlie.
you said,
mm-hmm.
and you said, me too.
Right, yeah.
You know, because it's so horrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, do you, any reason to believe that you're having an impact?
Oh,
I mean,
yes. I
well,
think so.
Tell me how.
Well, the best thing has been to join with African women who have been struggling valiantly for many years without any visibility or little visibility and support, and sometimes they've been really ostracized, and it's been helpful to them to have an African-American voice, someone to stand with them and to be supportive.
Yeah. And there had never been a voice before you sort of began to, I don't want to say that, but...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to...
Not to my knowledge.
Exactly.
Oh, no. Fran Hoskin in this country, actually. This is the woman
had written about it?
Yes, and she had done excellent work on this. Yeah. And, you know, there have been books, but I think it has made a difference that, you know, I am black and, you know, I come to my sisters as a sister, and it just feels great.
Did you have anything, how close were you involved in the filming of Color Purple?
Oh, Charlie, you're not going to ask me about that,
No,
are
I'm
you?
not.
Oh.
I'm not getting into that. Don't look at me
I'm
that
so
way.
Bored with that.
No, just stay with me, Alice. Come on. You know,
all right.
Don't criticize the question before you know where they're going.
It?
I'm not going to get into the controversy about Color Purple, all right?
Good. No, it's not the controversy. It's just that, you know, that question is the one that everybody asks me. And it's just so, but what?
Why do they always ask you about that? What is the... Because that's not where I was going, but I'm prepared to hear you out on why this is such a terrible question.
Well, it's just a terrible question because it was 10 years ago.
Okay, here's my question.
Yeah, what is your question?
And then you can say, Charlie, I'm really sorry that I jumped on you.
Right, okay.
All right? Is to how you're finding the medium of film and whether this is opening up new areas of curiosity and interest for you. That was the question I was coming at.
And
so now you would like to say thank you very much. I'm sorry I jumped down your throat, doctor.
Okay, fine. Yeah, actually, I'm enjoying it very much.
All right. So, well, more, Alice. I mean, come on.
Right, okay. I work with Pratibha Palma,
right,
who is an excellent filmmaker and
I think
director.
Her picture's back
her
here. This is
right
here,
there.
right here.
This is Pratibha Palma. And it's just been the most amazing thing.
Well, tell me about it. That's what I was trying to get at before you jumped down my throat.
Well, okay, forget that. We have about 2 minutes. So, no, it's been really wonderful.
Yeah, we have 10 minutes, not 2.
And I think we are going to work on Possessing the Secret of Joy together, because we're good. We're good together. We collaborate.
Yeah. How are you good together?
Well, the book, which I assume you haven't gotten to yet.
No, it's true.
We'll let you see exactly. You know, we write to each other a lot.
So much I can do.
I know that. All right. Well, she lives in London,
right,
and I live in San Francisco.
Right.
I'm about to get a fax machine so that we can
good.
really, communicate.
So you can really work.
Mm-hmm. But there's just
and then a cellular phone and a computer, and you'll be home free.
But we're both Aquarians.
Oh, so what? What does that mean?
Well, that helps. I mean, Aquarians can kind of see ahead without being
they don't need
without being worried about falling over what's at their feet.
No.
But what I'm saying is just that I have found a really wonderful creative partner.
Right.
And I can see making many films.
Okay, see, that makes all the difference in the world. Tell me about that. I mean, this whole notion of all of a sudden, in mid-flight, so to speak, you find somebody, a collaborator. Can we say that?
Exactly, a collaborator.
And all of a sudden, someone who you can share your passion with, who knows how to, who can hear you, who can resonate, and what you say resonates, and vice versa.
Exactly.
And who you can say, look at this, and
Right, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I really
First
like
time
it.
you've had this experience?
Well, yes, because
Because film is a collaborative medium, unlike writing a novel,
right,
sitting in your little
I
office
tell you,
on your little farm.
Right, on my little farm,
Right.
in my little chair.
Right.
But
on your little porch.
Yeah, on my little porch. And I find that there's so much joy in doing things collectively.
Really?
I think I feared the collective.
Because
I needed the solitude.
Right.
And I still do. I love solitude. But it's so wonderful to be with lots of people and listening to everyone. And we sit around and we talk about, how things should go. And it's just fun. And that's what I like.
So we might very well be seeing here the genesis, the embryonic stage of a whole new direction for Alice.
Well, you might, and then again, you might not.
I mean, Alice might retreat back into her little shell
She
after
might.
this. Right?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, or Alice may go Hollywood.
Oh, no, I don't
You're going to
think
still
so.
live in, yeah.
Oh, San Francisco and Northern California, yeah.
What else interests you now? I mean, what else other than this sort of superhuman effort you're making, and a very serious one that's reflected in the film and the novel and maybe another film and the documentary. What else? I mean,
well, I'm very interested in trying to help lift the embargo against Cuba.
Why that?
Well, because I love Cuba and I love the
Why do you
Cuban
love
people.
Cuba?
Oh, I have such a wonderful time every time I go, and the people are so fine, and I just can't stand it that they would suffer. I mean, it just hurts me.
Have you been there much?
Oh yeah. I was just there in May. I took some medicines to children, basically, and notebooks and crayons because they don't get those things anymore.
Because of the embargo, or because they no longer got all that money coming in from Russia?
Yeah, well, forget about Russia. We can't always worry about what people are getting
Russia's
from elsewhere.
About them.
Yeah, Russia's having its troubles,
Right.
but
And then it was,
wherever children suffer, Charlie, we should be there. And we shouldn't play politics with little kids,
You're right. And especially with things like medicine.
And food.
And shelter.
And education.
And the capacity to learn.
Exactly.
To open those minds up.
So, I'm passionate about it. I mean, I love those people. I will always love them. And whatever hurts them
Cuban
hurts
people
me.
are just young people in general.
Well, young people in general, but I especially love the Cuban people. They just seem to me really good people.
Yeah. You ever spent any time in Haiti?
I don't intend to, Charlie.
Because of the government there, or even if, or what? Because
my heart, I just can't take it. I just think I would spend the entire time weeping, and I just am tired of weeping.
Because of all this, you've been weeping enough.
Yeah, I mean, when I go to Cuba, even though they're suffering, they lift my spirits because people are still kind. They still share. They're still really upright. And I really, it's so hard to go to places like Senegal, for instance, where people are so depressed, or like the Gambia, or, so many countries in the world where people are just on the ground. And it's hard on the heart.
And you've got a big heart.
Well, what's left of it?
Well, no, you do. Now, and how are you pursuing this political agenda of yours to get this embargo lifted?
Well, I myself, go when I can.
Right.
My daughter was there not long ago. She went to test the, if we could become tourists there,
right.
People from this country could become tourists.
You think that would be a first step?
Yeah, because the tourism could, I hate tourism actually, but, it's better than, dope dealing or other awful things. And then we could all go to Cuba and, just have a wonderful time.
You know how much I like you. So tell me what what it is that you think has influenced you the most. I mean, you do. To talk to you here is this woman with this great big heart, you know, who really does care. You know, I mean, this is a perfect example. This is not an easy subject to care about. I mean, A, in terms of the atrocity of it, you know, and B, in terms of its consequences beyond the sheer physical, right? Yeah. Which all you are in the film and in the book, which I haven't read.
Yeah, but did you see the film?
No, I haven't seen the film
Charlie.
either.
Oh, I am so disappointed.
In me?
Yeah.
Well, but when was I going to see the film?
I don't know. Didn't we send you a copy?
Not until...
Well, we had an opening here at the town hall.
I wasn't invited now.
Well, it was... no. Oh, please. All right.
Well, I wouldn't lie to you. I haven't seen the film.
Right, okay. Well,
I'm here giving you an opportunity to talk about it in the most intelligent way that I know.
Oh.
All right, come on, stay with me then. All right, tell me about this. Where does this big heart come from? I mean, this whole sense of your compassion for...
Well, you know,
the world's children and you know, and this awful thing that's being done.
Well, I had a really great mother.
Right.
You know,
that'll do it every time.
That'll do it every time.
Yeah.
And she taught me very well that we have to be concerned about, you know, people in the world and around us in our communities. But also, I was a child myself. And I suffered.
Kidding.
Yeah, I was, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I was once, you know, a child, and I still am. And you know, in my heart, in my spirit, that child is still very much alive.
Are you a spiritual person?
What do you think? What do you think?
Of course you are, but I want you to tell me. I don't want to answer my own questions.
Well, but that kind of question you can't answer. How can you say, well, yes, I'm a spiritual person?
Well, tell me what moves you in terms...
The earth moves me, you know? I mean, if there's a God, to me, it is earth. It is the earth itself and nature. I mean, that's it, you know? I mean, you can have... you cannot have your God, or whoever is God, without the earth and without nature. Nature is first. And I care about that.
Would you like more children?
Of my own? No.
Because there are only so many hours you have to...
Charlie, I'll be 50 my next birthday. I mean,
I didn't know you were that.
Well, here I am telling you.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's great. You were going to say, I didn't know you were that old.
No, I wasn't that. I didn't.
Ageist. No.
You'll be 50 your next birthday. Well, there's a celebration in America today of women at 50.
Oh, I hope so. It's a great age.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, so anyway, you know, my daughter is 24. She's, you know, flying. I mean, she is her own person. And life is really, you know, now is the time I can do all these things.
Right.
You know,
can
I don't
go off and you have no restraining influences you to go pursue where it is that that big heart tells you to go.
I can go anywhere. Yeah. And I can do anything. And since I can do that, I can speak for these children. And it's wonderful. I mean, it's no hardship in a way. I mean, it hurts, but it makes me so happy that I don't care that it hurts.
What's been the most rewarding moment for you in all of this?
Oh, I think just completing this film and getting this. But we did this book in a month and a half because we wanted to get, you know, we were very conscious of time. And somehow to be able to work together with a whole group of people and to actually get the work done is wonderful.
It's great to see you, as always. She gives me a hard time all the time. The book is called Warrior Marks, Alice Walker and Pratibha Parmar, you know, who also made the documentary film with her. And the film will be, help me understand this, Alice. You know, I'm very limited.
I know.
I need all the help I can get, as you know.
Okay, where it will be now, from now on?
Exactly.
Okay, it'll be in Atlanta.
Very good. Very good,
Chicago.
Alice. Very good.
Seattle.
Good.
San Francisco, L.A. And it's already been in New York.
Right, and Charlie missed it. But
Charlie missed it.
And Alice will not let him forget it either, will she?
No.
But Alice loves Charlie, and that's good. Right?
Yes, of course.
Of course she does, you know, because Alice once said, if you grow old enough, Alice will love you.
That's right. Just keep those years coming.
And I love Alice, too. It's great to see you, really. You know how much I admire the work you've done. I really do.
And I admire yours.
Thanks very much. Alice Walker.